So, unless you've been living under a rock by now, you have heard. Democrats have released the Epstein files. Over 23,000 emails from Jeffrey Epstein himself to his number one confidant and correspondent, Ghislaine Maxwell, where Donald Trump is mentioned in several emails. There are 3 in particular of note. And let's just say the Democrats in their minds believe this is their aha, gotcha moment. Except for, I'll let you be your own judge. Roll a clip.
2011, Republicans were saying that victim is Virginia Giuffre. As you know, she died by suicide. She's a very outspoken victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Here's the email right here on your screen. She wrote a book, as you know, and she did not accuse him of any wrongdoing. What do you make of that? Can you confirm that?
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it's redacted who the victim is, so I won't necessarily take the Republicans' word on who it is that's redacted. And I don't know why they would necessarily redact someone's name who is deceased at this point.
The Democrats did that, though. The Democrats redacted.
No, I understand, okay. But I'm just saying, like, our biggest concern is to actually make sure that we are protecting victims. And obviously, she wrote a book. She told her truth.
Yo, this is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious.
House Oversight Committee subpoenaed from the Epstein estate reams, thousands of pages worth released this morning by Democrats on that panel, several mentioning President Trump by name. This morning, the bombshell release of what House Democrats say are emails to and from deceased convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, several referring to President Donald Trump by name. In an April 2011 email released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, lawmakers say Epstein wrote to his now convicted accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, 3 years after pleading guilty to sex crimes involving a minor, telling her, "I want you to realize that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Unnamed victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." According to the released emails, Maxwell responds, "I have been thinking about that." But this summer, in a recorded interview with the Department of Justice, Maxwell told Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, the president's former lawyer, she never witnessed Trump act inappropriately.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Shortly after that interview, Maxwell was moved to a minimum security prison camp, prompting criticism she received special treatment. Committee Democrats also releasing this January 2019 email, where Epstein corresponds with author Michael Wolff less than 6 months before the financier would be charged again, this time with sex trafficking of minors. Discussing President Trump's repeated claim he kicked Epstein out of his Palm Beach club, Epstein writing, "Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls, as he asked Ghislaine to stop." President Trump has denied any knowledge of Epstein's alleged crimes.
It's a hoax. It's started by Democrats.
After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken with him in 15 years. And earlier this year, Trump claimed the reason he banned his one-time friend from Mar-a-Lago in the mid-2000s was because Epstein stole Trump's club staff, including young women.
He took people, and because he took people, I said, don't do it anymore. You know, they work for me. And he took, beyond that, he took some others. And once he did that, that was the end of him. I didn't like, when they steal people, I don't like it.
So, you're saying it, you heard it, now I'm about to drop the verdict. Uh-oh. This is the bombshell that we've been waiting on. The mystical, mythical Epstein files. Are you kidding me? So have any of you read the key emails that CNN, MSNBC, all your major news outlets are running with? The first email where it mentions Donald Trump by name, saying that he spent hours with victim, name being redacted. Let's just assume it's Virginia Giuffre. We all know who Virginia Giuffre is, the young lady who took her own life earlier this year, but was one of the most outspoken of the Epstein victims, where she detailed the escapades that went on there at the island during her time. None of which she mentions Donald Trump as being guilty of committing any crime. Neither did Jeffrey Epstein himself, nor has Ghislaine Maxwell mentioned Donald Trump as doing anything wrong or inappropriate with these young ladies. In fact, Ghislaine Maxwell said that Donald Trump's behavior was gentlemanlike when he was in the presence of these women and Ghislaine Maxwell. Do with that information what you will. But we would have to do ourselves a real service here and question the timing of all of this. Or you can say, well, today is the first day that the House has been back in session, and we've been prolonging the the swearing in of the senator for 7 weeks. I forget her name. I just heard it a second ago, but it escapes me. Forgive me. But she was the final vote needed in order to have these magical, mythical, mystical Epstein files released. And what a dud. I'm thinking, actually, I never thought that. I was going to say that I was thinking maybe they had some sort of bombshell or some sort of information that we didn't know. Well, the only information that we didn't know is that if Donald Trump did indeed know, he told Ghislaine Maxwell that they needed to stop. That's also in one of the emails. So it would appear to me that would kind of exonerate Donald Trump of any wrongdoing, right? And then you can say, well, he didn't snitch on his homies. And I'm saying, like, yeah, we can be enemies, but that doesn't mean that I have to rat. And he didn't rat. But he also didn't commit the crimes that were being alleged by the Democrats. And then you see, Rep. Jasmine Crockett basically caught in a lie, trying to suggest that the Democrats did not redact these documents. And it's like, who would stand to gain from removing Virginia Giuffre, name out of the documents when she was the one who worked with Donald Trump? So it would be foreseeable that she spent a lot of amount of time with Donald Trump, none of which anything illegal or illicit was going on. But that's not what the Democrats would have you believe. And I specifically used ABC to bring you that news story just so you can see how they try to spin it just enough to make it seem like Donald Trump is somehow guilty of something. And all I'm saying to you is they brought 96 charges against Donald Trump. Do you guys remember? They filed a $450 million judgment against Donald Trump. Do you remember? Excuse me, guys. They made 2 attempts confirmed on Donald Trump's life. You don't think that if the Democrats had any information that was useful or helpful or damning towards President Trump throughout all of this, they would have already used it? Donald Trump being in office right now is the worst case scenario for the Democrats. They know it, you know it, we know it, the world knows it. And ladies and gentlemen, their mythical Epstein file smoking gun, well, they led the public to believe it was an AK-47. Come to find out, it's not even a 22. But that's just my opinion, though. Love to know yours. Drop a like, comment, share this video, and of course, you know, I need to help a brother out special. Smash that follow button.